It's absolutely incredible how these days high-performance wireless mice are available from many different brands at a wide range of price points. But one of them has to be the best. And in this search for the best, I've made videos in the past couple of years about Razer's top mice. I'll link them all the way up there, like the Viper Ultimate and the Basilisk Ultimate. And I think it's only fair at this point that we give Logitech a try. And oh boy, what a mouse this is. For some reason you haven't seen it before. This is the G Pro Superlight in its beautiful matte white finish, and I've been using this mice for the past couple of months to really get to know all of its ins and outs like the palm of my hand, or I don't know, like the claw of my hand. I think it's more appropriate. But let's talk shape. And if you're shopping for a new mouse, this should be at the top of your priorities, because no matter how good a mouse performs or how great it looks on your desk, if it doesn't fit your hand nicely, it will never become an extension of your arm, which should be the goal for everyone. Fortunately, this shape is very neutral. I have a medium-sized hand. That means that my hand measures 18 centimeters from the tip of my middle finger all the way up to the back of my hand, and it fits my claw grip very well. If for some reason you tend to palm grip your mouse, which you probably shouldn't if you're gaming, since you lose the ability to do those micro adjustments, then I would say hands up to 20 centimeters are good, and bigger than that and you probably want to go for a more ergonomic shape. One of the most satisfying things about the build of this mouse is the coating. It has some sort of soft rubbery feel to it that almost feels like chalk, and this finish helps a lot when it comes to gripping the mouse. I never felt like it was slippery in any way, and even small amounts of sweat were fine for it. It comes with a couple of rubberized grips in the box that you can use if you want your pretty white mouse to look like absolute trash, but in my opinion, they're not needed. If you're familiar with the Viper Ultimate's coating, this feels much smoother while staying as grippy, even without any of the rubber side grips. And if you know other mice that feel smooth and look smooth, but tend to get slippery quick, this feels smoother and grippier than those, and it doesn't seem to wear out with time. It's quite unique. One small detail that I didn't notice until I actually got the mouse in my hand is that along the edges there are these lines that are probably part of how the mouse is molded, but you can barely see them and barely feel them, but they go all the way around and into the front. A small detail that is mostly irrelevant, but it makes it so that this doesn't look like a perfectly smooth potato shape. The main buttons are quite on point with minimal pre-travel and a satisfying click to them, and long gone are the issues of double clicking on the mouse buttons that happened in previous Logitech mice. They just feel crisp and satisfying. These feel substantially better than the first gen optomechanical switches from my Viper Ultimate, and probably feel similar to the second gen ones, but I haven't really tried them. They are technically slower since they are mechanical and not optical like the Razers, but to be honest, I don't think anyone would be able to reliably tell the difference between them. The wireless is also 25% slower according to Razer's numbers, but again, I don't think you'll be able to tell the difference between them. The scroll wheel is also on point with a nice firm click and smooth, but not too smooth scroll steps that make little to no noise. The side buttons, on the other hand, are not that great. They're perfectly positioned and easy to click, but they feel mushy and have a lot of pre-travel to them, which was not a deal breaker for me, but something to keep in mind. And then you have the start of the show, the weight, or the lack of weight, to be honest. And if you've seen my reviews in the past, you probably see that I've been giving more and more importance to how lightweight a mouse really should be. I still think most people can get used to mice weights up to 100 grams, even if they aren't as comfortable, but there's something special about this 59-gram mouse just sliding around. It's not 63 because I removed the puck in the bottom that does nothing, but this just glides and feels so nice that it's really hard to go back to something heavier. My previous mouse was the Viper Ultimate, and this 15-gram weight reduction is really noticeable. And this is the first mouse that I have used that feels perfectly balanced. Not too front and not too back heavy, it definitely feels like a tuned headshot machine. Unless those Apex servers are acting up, and if that's the case, just God bless on your soul. Come on EA, it's been 2 years and your servers are still dog poo-poo. One thing that out of the box immediately stood up to me were the skates. They look massive, particularly if you opt to use the extra PTFE one in the back, but they're not the best. The edges are not rounded and they have a significant break-in period where the mouse will not glide super smoothly. I would say about 24 hours in game should be enough to break them in, and then the mouse will glide like butter. If you want your butter extra buttery, there are a lot of aftermarket skates that you can buy for very cheap and just replace the stock ones. I haven't tested any of them, so can't really recommend any particular brand, but they are definitely options out there. This wouldn't be a G Pro Superlight review without bashing on Logitech for the MicroUSB port, but even if I hated on it when I saw it, and even if I thought I wanted a dock like the Viper Ultimate, I don't mind it anymore. I'm not gonna sit here and defend their position because launching any product in 2021 with a micro USB port just seems like a huge slap in the face, and the lack of dock is definitely not nice. But I got my mouse with 50% battery, I charged it until 85% in around 20 minutes, and then I proceeded to not charge my mouse for a full month. That included using the mouse every day, gaming every day, and some long play sessions on the weekend, and that took a full month of use to use those 85% of battery. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we should stop putting RGB on wireless mice. Maybe we should work more on ourselves and improving ourselves instead of relying on RGB for those extra headshots that it definitely provide us. Provide us. One cool thing that happens when it comes to battery saving on the mouse is if you don't move it for a couple of minutes, the mouse will go to sleep, but it will always immediately wake up as soon as you move it, just with slightly lower sensitivity before it kicks into full power. It's not like it is with the Viper Ultimate, where you can set a defined amount of minutes and then the mouse will turn off. This mostly feels like the mouse is asleep and then quickly always wakes up. I've never had it not reconnect immediately. With the Viper Ultimate, I've had a couple of times in the past 6 months where I had to manually turn off the mouse and turn it back on. Both solutions work. This has just been more flawless. Now to the durability, and the only things I've seen change in this mouse with time are the glide pads are smoother, and the mouse 1 and mouse 2 have a little bit more of side to side play. You can't really feel it if you're just using the mouse normally, but if you search for it and move them at their tip, you can definitely see it. It doesn't affect how the mouse clicks. You can't feel any difference there. They just move a little bit more side to side. Everything else just feels exactly like new, and if that changes, I'll surely let you know. Now, if you're still watching this at this point, you're probably really considering buying this mouse. So here's my advice. This is the best gaming mouse money can buy right now. Yes, it's not perfect, but it does so many things so well that it's almost impossible not to recommend. So if money is not a concern to you, then this is a no-brainer. But I think most people consider the money important, and if you can only find the G Pro Superlight for around 150 euros and you can find the Viper Ultimate for around 100, maybe go for one of those, or maybe even better, go for the Model O wireless for around 80 bucks. But I haven't really tested that one out, so I can't really recommend it. Just don't go for the old G Pro wireless because that thing doesn't make sense anymore. Okay, but you're here, but it's absolutely nothing to do with gaming mice or tech or even anything important to any person on earth. You're just here for the most important thing for anyone on earth, some feline action, and I will surely share it with you. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoy and stick around, and yeah, bye!